Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Rapid on right here on Rapid Television. And thanks to Victor Ejoma for giving us the sporting update. Of course, right now it is time for the big conversation. I would apologize that we're starting 7 minutes later than our scheduled time. But of course, we have some conversation outlined for you today. And we are going to be discussing one of the most talked about policy shifts in Nigeria this year. We're talking about the new tax reform laws and of course the controversies around them so far. And of course, on June 26, 2025, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed 4 major tax reform bills into law, which is the Nigeria Tax Act, the Nigeria Tax Administration Act, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Act, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Act. These laws are designed to modernize Nigeria's tax system, simplify compliance, and of course expand the tax base. Implementation of key parts is scheduled to begin on January 1st, 2026. Well, we also hear that Dr. Taiwo Oyedele, the chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, has defended the reforms as essential to reducing multiple taxation and ending the overtaxation of workers and small businesses in Nigeria. He argues that delaying implementation will leave 98% of workers overtaxed and impose burdens on households and firms. However, there's serious disputes have emerged over alleged discrepancies between the versions passed by the National Assembly and the ones subsequently gazetted, prompting civil society groups, political figures, and some lawmakers to call for suspension or further review of the tax law. With us this morning to unpack these issues, what they mean for businesses, workers, and everyday Nigerians, is Augustine Imoisili, the CEO of Flight GuyMan. Good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining us on the conversation today.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Victor. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Austin. Now let's begin the conversation. Talking about the tax laws, basically. I know there has been various conversation about this particular subject matter, various definitions about it. But as a business person, also a well-meaning Nigerian, can you explain to us in simple terms what the new tax reform laws are and why you think they were also introduced?
Okay, so I like to believe that we all know what tax is, what tax is. Yeah, but for further explanation, so tax is a compulsory levy, imposed on citizens by its government. Yes, so the government says, okay, we see you're doing good, and we are also helping you. Yes, so but we want something in return so that we can help you further. Yes, so that is where the tax comes in. Yeah, so it's a compulsory levy, imposed by the government on the citizens, just to further, restructure or better, the people's life, basically the country, the economy. So that is what tax is here.
Yeah. Of course, we've seen that the government has set January 1st, 2026 as the date for the implementation of the new tax laws, of course, that has been introduced by the federal government. Come January 1st, 2026, these implementations will begin. Now, in your view, what is the significance of this timeline? Do you think that this timeline is feasible enough? Are Nigerians ready to begin to pay the new taxes, as being shown, indicated on the new tax law?
Okay, to be honest, Mr. Victor, to be honest, I do not think that Nigerians are ready. And I do not think that the timing is feasible enough, for us to start paying tax in Nigeria. So I would say that the people are not ready, and whatever the government is up to, it's just not the right timing for you to introduce tax, or so to say, to reform the taxation system in Nigeria. It is not feasible in any way.
Now, you talked about the fact that this is not the right time for us to do this, basically. Now, the obvious question is, when would be the right time? I'll just give you a quick rundown. Recall during the administration of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, there he made mention of the fact that he was going to take away the fuel subsidy. And various persons came on board to say that that wasn't the right time for that to be done, taking away the fuel subsidy. Now, in 2025, fuel subsidy was removed. And of course, there were still talks that this was not the right time for the subsidy to be removed as it is, because it was going to affect the economy of the nation as it is, which of course we've seen that it has affected us one way or the other. But imagine as well, just the argument of many Nigerians. Imagine that the fuel subsidy was removed in the Goodluck Ebele administration. Maybe the challenges might have not been more sought to as it is today. Compare that to the tax reforms as it is. If not now, when will be the right time for the new tax reform to be enacted and, of course, implemented?
Okay, so I'm honestly trying to be as civil as I can. Yes, but I'm not also going to deny the fact that when we talk about Nigeria, the things happening in Nigeria, it can be emotional. You and I can attest to the fact that it is not easy to hold a conversation, surrounding, the quote unquote the economy of Nigeria without you getting emotional. So I'm trying to be as civil as possible. So let me buttress. If not now, when? That's a good question. Thank you for that question. So if not now, when? There are certain things that needs to be in place before you start, taxing your people. There are certain things that needs to be in place before you start taxing your people. So what is the basic essence of tax? It's for you to fix the bad road. It's for you to improve education. It's for you to create infrastructures. It's for you to pay teachers, to pay workers, to build hospitals, so that our doctors will not be running away. You don't want to know how many, statistically speaking, you don't know how many doctors has fled away from the country as a result of low income, and then they get to wherever they are going to, and then they start doing so well. So I'm basically saying that you need to tell the people that you need to show the people that, see, I'm already working, or if you're paying tax, see, this is what your money will be used for. This is what your money will be used for. The people will gladly pay. A perfect example is, I tell you, Mr. Victor, I give you 3 square B. I tell you that, okay, one day, I just call you and I say, okay, I have been feeding you for some time, but I need you to accompany me for a job. I need your labor. I need your input. Would you voluntarily do this with me? And I want to believe that you would voluntarily do it with me, because I have been feeding you. I've been taking care of you. But now let's try to reverse it. In the case that I am not doing anything for you, there's no impact on my side, because I am the government, and you are the people.
Yeah.
And then you will not want to do it. You will not want to comply. This is what the tax compliance, entails here. You have to do something for me to give you my money. Or see that the road I'm flying, the road I'm commuting to my place of work is good. So I will not have to spend extra money to fix my tires or to fix my shock absorber, in my car, because I'm already paying you to fix the road. But now you want to take money from me and still expect me to fix the road or fix my car when it gets bad myself. So that's what I mean, that it's not the right timing. It's not the right timing. So I don't know if I'm able to answer that question.
So in other words, you're saying basically that the government hasn't done enough for its citizens yet, and it's therefore not the right time for the new tax law to be enacted and, of course, even implemented as it is. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How,
Yes.
how, how,
The government has not.
yeah. All right. However, we've also seen that there's been some calls, by lawmakers now that there are some discrepancies in the new tax reform, law as it is. And then the argument is that some of the things that we are seeing in the law that was presented, first of all, that was presented to the House of Assembly is different from what is going to be implemented as it is. That is an argument right now that is going on, on the social space. And we have a document or a picture rather not to back that up as just read out some of these, to you and of course our viewers this morning. We talked about some of the changes between the past law and of course the gazetted version. And we saw that in some of the areas, first of all, the enforcement powers, what was changed is that tax authority can arrest via law enforcement. And what lawmakers passed, according to this you're seeing on the screen, is that tax authority can investigate, right? And then the practical implication there says that expanded coercive powers beyond investigation. Now, the difference here is that first, on the enforcement powers, it says that what was changed is that a tax authority can arrest via law enforcement, but what lawmakers passed is that tax authority rather can investigate, not arrest. And the next we saw was reporting threshold. It says that about 25 million naira. That is what changed, but what lawmakers passed was 50 million naira, which means more individuals are captured, in this very gazetted tax law right now as it is. Now, this, of course, has caused a lot of stir on the social space, saying that, first of all, Nigerians are finding it difficult to accept the new tax reality. Some have begun, of course, to accept the reality as it is, but also getting to see all of the altercations right now that are going on, within the reform of the tax law. We've now seen that the House of Representatives, they set up a committee to probe this particular matter as it is. In fact, very recently, Taiwo Oyedele, the chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Authority, talking about the tax, made mention of some of the things, rather, chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform, that is Taiwo Oyedele, he denied widely those circulations, the circulated versions of the laws, saying that these reports are misinformation. But from what I've read out to you as it is, again, I said that Nigerians are struggling to accept this law. Now there are discrepancies that are being seen everywhere. What does this say about the integrity, first of all, of the federal government, also the efficiency of our lawmakers who previewed this law before, this bill rather, before passing it into law, in your own view?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Victor. Yes. So as we can clearly see, first and foremost, if a government is transparent enough, it will not be difficult to pass across, a law or an information, without the altercation of those here. But what we are seeing clearly is just confusion, so to say. It's just confusion. And why is it confusion? It's confusion, and it's confusing enough because, first of all, you're coming to tell us that this is what you want from us. You need to put things in place, Mr. Victor.
Yeah.
You need to put things in place. It is not even about the figure. It's not about the statistics now. If you're coming to tell me that, see, from next year, you're paying 15% or 10% from so and so figure or from so and so income. Yes, I will question, but at the end of my questioning, I may come to understand that it is necessary because you have done so much for me, as an individual, as the patriotic citizen, but then this is confusing enough, and it is not transparent. You know, this is today's 22nd or 23rd, and
23rd.
then we're already seeing, yes, thank you. We're already seeing confusion, circulating, and there's no clear information even coming from the. Yes, I know the potential committee for fiscal policy, Mr. Taiwo Wedele is trying his best, to be as transparent, to be as communicating as possible. But what we are seeing is confusion is still circulating. Do you know why? Because the people are not even buying it. The people who heard this 2023 when the government came to say, you know what, we're about to take off, the fuel subsidy removal, and we can no longer do this. It's been over a decade, so we can no longer do this. So we want you guys to take care of yourselves. We want you guys to buy fuel the normal price. You know, but then what there was no transparency in that transaction. Why? Because the government has no what have been doing with the removal subsidy? What have been doing with it? We cannot see anything. The promise to build, healthcare system, good healthcare system, the promise to pay doctors, the promise to, to do a lot of things. But we are not seeing that in place, Victor. That's the concern. There's no transparency. So no matter what the government is trying to paint right now for us, there's still no transparency. What the average Nigerian is just waiting for is come January 1st. Let's say what's going to happen. You see funny comments like, touch my account, let me see. Come January 26th, touch my account, let me see. We are now taking money from my account. So you now see my people. People, and these people understand. They understand what tax is. They understand what tax reform is. It is not new to us. They understand it, but they cannot buy it. They cannot comprehend it because you're not doing anything for them. So what? Just to answer your question, this is just confusion, speculating. What is the saying it's saying? What is the House of Reps saying? What is the impact across? It's just a lot of confusion. If it is, if the government is working, if the government is being effective, then I think the message will be clear. Even if some people will be against it, but it will be clear enough that this is what the government is saying. It's going to be a one-sided thing, one-sided information, and everybody will be fine. It's going to be a win-win situation in the long run. So, so I think it's confusing as it were, Mr.
Yeah.
Vito.
Well, to be fair as well to the House of Representatives, I did mention earlier on that of course they've set up a panel to investigate, the bill that was passed into law, and of course also to look into some of the changes that we've also seen in the gazetted copy as it is. But of course, fingers are crossed to see what the outcome of that investigation will be. But let's talk about the impact of this new tax law and of course its reform, which is still scheduled. The implementation is scheduled to begin from January 1st, 2026. What do you think is going to be some of the implications, rather, on small businesses here in Nigeria once this tax law is being implemented?
Okay. So the implications for small businesses, also I was reading on Mr. Taiwo realistic on that. He was saying that small businesses, SMEs especially, will be exempted. They will be fine. They will not be harsh on them. It sounds true to believe, but you and I know that that is not the reality. You know, there's no proper regulation to these things. And it's going to be even more confusing, for the average Nigerian from 2026. So what we think we are doing now is preparing ourselves for the new tax reform. But it's going to be even more confusing. So why do I say this? One, we're already paying. I like to believe that you are aware that we're already paying VAT. We're already paying VAT and other forms of tax
Yeah.
in Nigeria. But VAT is it's most popular because it affects you you that wants to say that you have no business paying tax, you don't have work, but somehow you're paying it because you go to the supermarket, you go to the small store, you go to the restaurant, and then you find yourself paying. You eat a food of 2,000 naira, and the bill comes, and then you're seeing 2,200. What's the 200 for? It's VAT, and they tell you it's value added tax,
Yeah.
and then you have no choice to pay. Sometimes we don't, subconsciously, we don't even look at it anymore. We just accept the bill. But you come here and say, I don't want to pay tax, but you're paying it. So that is going to be, it's going to be even more dangerous from 2026. Why do I say this? It's going to be more dangerous because, one, if the average man is trying to run away from tax in Nigeria, if the average man is trying to say, okay, I do not earn this, I do not earn up to this, so I'm exempted from paying tax, I'm exempted from tax masters, I'm exempted from investigations, fine. But it's going to affect you still, being the average man. Do you know why? Because the people that cannot run away from tax, you see the supermarkets, you see the top organizations, the ones that you transact with, they cannot be exempted. And guess what will happen? The initial 7% or 6% VAT, that was implemented, it will no longer be. It can still be on record that it is 6 or 7%, but that will not be the case because I, as a company, I as a supermarket, I will now be paying, I'll not be paying, let's say I will not be paying 15% of my annual turnout, that I have not paid before. I had no idea before, but because of the new tax reform, I will start paying an extra 15% of my annual turnout.
Yeah.
It's going to affect my business. It's going to affect my business. And if it affects my business, I cannot take the loan. Therefore, what do? I'll pass it down across. I'll make sure I increase the price of goods.
Well,
who is buying the price?
But let's look at some of these benefits as well, Mr. Austin. Because of course you've talked about some of the challenges that you foresee for the new tax law as it is, but some of the key benefits, as also talked about, by Taiwo Oyodele, and of course the tax reform committee, is that this new tax law is going to bring relief for low-income earners, and I see that individuals that are earning up to 800,000 naira annually are now being exempt from the personal income tax, which of course is the PIT as it is. Now, households as well earning below 250,000 naira monthly are classified as poor, and they will not pay the tax, reducing financial pressure on low-income Nigerians. And do recall that these individuals, in the past were paying taxes. Even people that are earning less than 800,000 naira, annually, still paid taxes. But in this reform, individuals that earn up to 800,000 naira annually are no longer going to be paying the taxes, which is a relief for low-income earners, if you ask me. That is one. Support for small and medium-scale businesses as well. We see that SMEs with a turnover of 100 million naira and assets, 250 million naira, they also got exemptions from the corporate income tax, capital gains tax, and some levies as it is. If you also ask me, based on this that we see on paper, this could be good as well for small business owners. This could be good for individuals that earn less than $1 million naira, on the annual basis, which means that one of the benefits is that it encourages entrepreneurship, growth, and job creation if this is being implemented as we see on paper. Now, if you look at these two benefits that I've read out to you, as also stated, it's there on the papers, by the fiscal committee on the tax reform. Again, individuals who earn less than 1 million naira, they are being exempted from paying the tax. Small-scale businesses that earn around 100 million naira to 250 million naira, they also get exemptions, from corporate income tax, which is of course the CIT, the capital gains tax, and some levies. Don't you think these are some benefits that both individuals that earn low households that earn low and small medium enterprises could actually benefit from the tax reform if being implemented efficiently?
To be honest, you're right. To be honest, these are great benefits. These are great benefits. Yes. So I'm not disputing the fact that it will benefit, the small business owners, the SMEs, and people who earn less than $1 million. It will benefit. Yes, but I also want to believe that those are not the reasons that you're saying it will benefit me because I'm exempted. That is not what tax is all about here. Tax is not, oh, you, Mr. Victor, you are exempted. And you start doing, thank God, I'm exempted. That's not what tax is about. Because you that is being exempted, it will still come back. It will still affect you. So I was checking because of the state of my business. You see that you can no longer. It is not economical to fly from Lagos to Enugu, for instance. The tax reform have not even started, But you cannot hold 200,000 naira and say you want to fly from Lagos to Enugu. It is not possible now. Why? It's very expensive. We have a way of, So the problem is that there's not going to be a proper regulation to this sense, because as much as the government on its own part is trying to help, it's trying to ensure that they reform properly, it's trying to ensure that the small businesses, people who earn less, will be exempted. Those are not the problem. Yes, is it good? It's beautiful. But are they the problem? They are not the problem.
But these are some benefits as it is, anyways. But again, we're going to dive deeper in this particular conversation, Mr. Austin. But just stay with us. Let's go on a quick break. When we'll come back, we go further on the conversation. It is already way past the 9:30 hour. After this break, we'll continue the conversation with Augustine Imoisili, the CEO of Flight GuyMan, talking about the tax reforms and, of course, some of the gazetted discrepancies that have been seen flying all around. Do stay with us.
Dr. Joseph. Name is Martha Alu.
My name is Victor Arki.
My name is Divine Alex.
My name is Esther Ben.
My name is Arthur James Bruce.
My name is Godwin Sunday.
I am Ijoma Victor.
My name is Cynthia Agbo.
Josephine Bitru.
I bet you already know that this
is Rapid Television.
From the heart of Africa, where dreams are born and passion is boundless, a new wave of talent rises. In La Liga, these extraordinary athletes are not just playing the game, they're transforming it.
Rodriguez, the man chasing, it's Lamine Yamal! What a magnificent goal that is!
They shine on the world stage. Watch as they redefine football, inspire millions, and make history. La Liga, where dreams become reality.
Time is power. Our lives are powered by the sun. As the sun rises, so do we. As we trust it to rise and set without any worries interrupting your morning with our hybrid all-in-one inverter, powering our prosperity and happiness. but also nurture what is dear to us, powering trust and support, empowering us to do things that really matters. Star Times Solar, power your life.
Are you missing out on interviews, music, entertainment, thought-provoking discussions, and more? Don't sweat it, man. We've got you covered. No matter where you are, be part of the action 24/7, online and live.
On Facebook, it's Rapid FM Umuahia. On Instagram, it's official Rapid FM. And on X, it is Rapid FM 965. Tune in to Rapid 96.5 FM or listen to us live on our website at www.rapidfm965.com or radiogarden.com. Better yet, get our mobile app from the Google Play Store. Catch the pulse of the Southeast on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city.
Hey, Oyanam, all Siso Radio.
This is Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. We connect people, power stories, and amplify voices. On Rapid TV, we're rooted in culture and your window to the stories that matter. From news to lifestyle, we inform, entertain, and uplift. Join Rapid TV on Star Times Channel 176, Nightcomsat. On Rapid FM, we speak your language from the soulful airwaves of Umuahia to the vibrant culture of Port Harcourt and beyond. More than broadcasters, we're creators, amplifying that voice within with powerful content across TV, radio, and digital. Join us at rbnradiotv.com and all our social media handles. One network, one voice. Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN, the sound of your city. Rooted in truth, driven by impact.
And of course, we've been having conversations centered around the new tax reform laws and some of the altercations that we've seen flying around there. We do also, we told you rather that the House of Representatives have set up a committee to probe this particular matter. However, Taiwo Oyedele has also come out to say that this altercation being spread around is a misinformation, stating that the implementation of the tax law is still going to hold or begin from the 1st of January 2026. And of course, we've been having conversation here with Augustine Imoisili, the CEO of Flight GuyMan. And of course, he's been giving us his thoughts regarding the tax law as it is. Augustine, thanks again for being with us on the conversation this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vito.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the implementation, because that was the thought line where we were actually driving there before we went on that break. And I did hear you mention that you're not so sure about the implementation being as effective as it should be, you know. But however, there are certain creations that I've also seen done by the government, right? One is the creation of the Nigeria Revenue Service, which is NRS, and according to the government, this centralizes tax collection and reduces the overlap among agencies. And very recently as well, we saw the government sign a memorandum of understanding with the French government authorities, you know, to help collect the tax here in the country, Nigeria. However, many Nigerians have come out to say that, well, why partner with the French government for the collection of the tax in Nigeria? And the argument has been centered on data, which the government have come out to say that, well, the French government will not have access to the Nigerian data. But the point I'm trying to make here in asking the question is that, first, we have the Nigeria Revenue Service created by the government for the collection of the data. And according to them, this is going to help the collection of, rather not data, now the collection of the tax, you know, by Nigerians or in Nigeria as it is, you know, to help reduce corruption and malpractices as it is. And also the collaboration with the French authority to also help reduce corruption in the collection and the implementation of the tax reform. With these two initiatives being created by the government, don't you think that this is a good way to start with in talking about the structure on the implementation of the tax reform here in Nigeria, of course, which is scheduled to begin in January 1st, 2026?
Okay, so as much as it sounds like a good initiative, so in my honest opinion, I don't think it is one. It is questionable. It puts a lot of questions in the hearts of its citizens. Why the French government? What's happening? Why does it have to be the French government? It doesn't have to be the French government. You can do everything internally. This is not even a case of. This is not a case of. It's not a case of whether we have access to our data or not. You're already involved with that. These people are smarter than you. They are smarter than you. But why involve them in the first place? You are involving them in the first place. You may not be able to control all of them when the tax reform kicks off. There are people, there are organizations that can handle things locally. So why do you have to involve the French authorities to be able to help you establish or make the tax reform more effective? There are companies like the Deloitte, KPMG, EY. These are, great auditing companies in Nigeria that can even do more, and they will be accountable. But if you allow the French government to do this, the honest truth is, it looks and sounds sinister to the average Nigeria. No one is going to buy the idea that you're making things more effective. That's why all of a sudden it's now French, it's now France of all nations that you're trying to. So what's the alliance? What's in for them? What's in for them? A lot is just going to uncover come 2026 here, and I'm not in a position to tell you, Mr. Victor, that this is what you should be expecting, or this is what Nigerians should be expecting. 2026 is January is just around a couple of days from now, and then we'll see things unveil. But in my honest opinion, I do not think that it is a great idea to involve the French government in taxing your own people. The French government will not involve the European Union or another country to help them. Why are you now involving them? It's sinister. These are the reasons why Nigerians are not okay with anything relating to tax reform. It's sinister. Look at it very well. The French government, the French president Emmanuel Macron was in Nigeria, I think sometimes last year, and then all of a sudden there's now this bilateral relationship with French, and all of these things brings questions. So what's in for them? That's a question we should be asking. Can they do it better? Yes, maybe they can do it better. But what's in for them? Those are the things that we should be talking about. So it's not about them coming to help us. Can we do it ourselves locally? Yes. Do you want transparency? Yes. Are they great companies, auditing companies that can do this? Yes, Mr. Victor. Why then do you have to bring them in? So so I don't think it's a good idea.
But let's conclude with this, anyways. Again, looking at some of the things that the 2025 tax reform aim to achieve. Again, looking at the list here, want to reduce the tax burden on ordinary Nigerians, which of course you've talked about earlier on, saying that is not even the main issue. That was your thought. Also to protect SMEs and encourage investment, to ensure transparency and of course accountability, and to strengthen revenue generation for national development. This few that has been listed out, Mr. Austin, if you look at them, don't you really think that this tax reform could actually help ease the burden of Nigerians, which of course is one of the things that we've been calling for, to ensure that the burdens that are on the shoulders of ordinary Nigerians can be relieved? that people can actually go about their daily jobs, their daily works, without so much of a pressure, especially those that are low income earners in this part of the country. Just give me your thoughts there, and also give me your concluding thoughts on the conversation.
Okay, great. I honestly am not against tax reform. In fact, every law-abiding citizen ought to pay tax. So we want tax to work. If it's going to work, beautiful. I will pay tax. My business will pay tax. And I can advocate or ensure that anyone around me pays tax because I want it to work. Well, as much as I want it to work, I also want transparency from the government. Please, let it work. Let it work. Let us see results. Let it not be like 2023 where you removed fuel subsidy, and then we could no longer see what you did with revenue. Let's not be like that. So if you're taxing us, please give us constant electricity. That's like the basic things. There are places you go, Mr. Victor, and then you hear there are countries you go, and then you hear that they have not taken light in 15 years. It is not miracle. It is not a dream. It can work. It is a disease to be and not have light. These are the basic things that we are asking for. So if you're taxing us, beautiful. So make sure that you're using the taxpayers' money, to infrastructure, to ensure that life gets better and easy. Because the average Nigerian does not trust the government, let alone the APC-led government. They do not trust them. So if you want our money, please let it work. Let us see results, and people will gladly pay. We should not be paying tax, and then we are still thinking of getting an inverter in our homes. Why am I paying tax then? We should not be paying tax and then still trying to fix our car bumps, our car shocks, or changing brakes and everything because of bad road. We should not be paying tax and then be scared of traveling from Lagos to Abuja by road because of high level of insecurity. We should not be paying tax and then the politicians, who are there, who are in power, they are traveling abroad to treat themselves. Let them fix our hospitals so that everybody will be fine here. Let our doctors get paid. Let our teachers get paid properly. These are the basic things that we're asking for. I'm not disputing the fact that tax reform is great. It's great to initiate it. But please, let it not be like 2023, where you said you want to remove fuel subsidy, you make things better, and then we did not see any of those things.
All right.
Let it not be questionable. Let it be amazing that this is the work you're doing. This is what the tax payers' money are being spent on, and people will gladly pay. Trust me.
All right, Augustine, thank you so much. All right, thank you so much for your time, Augustine Imoisili, for your time with us on the conversation this morning. But this is where we've got to let you go. Thank you so much, and do have yourself a lovely day today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That was Augustine Imoisili, the CEO of Flight GuyMan, sharing his thoughts regarding the tax reform bills that have been passed into law, and of course some of the altercations that we've also seen flying on the social space. But of course, this is where we're going to end the conversation today. Do remember that you can follow us across all our social media pages across our platforms at Rapid TV, and you can get to rewatch all our episodes on our official Rapid TV YouTube platform, which is at official Rapid TV on YouTube. And wherever you are in the world, you can watch us live using our website www.arabianradiotv.com. My name is Victor, and of course I will see you tomorrow.